It's time to start Act 2 on the Snipe Barrage Ranger. I believe the only skill that I add is Freezing Salvo. It stores up to 12 projectiles and then just shoots them all out at once when you use it. It helps a lot with AoE, as well as when a bunch of mobs are either frozen together or just grouped up. It wasn't game changing, and there's definitely probably some support gems that you could use to make it even better, but for now, you know, it was doing its job. You can use it in combination with Escape Shot to stack chill up on enemies that don't get chilled with the first hit. But yeah, outside of that, I'm just using Snipe. It's so much sniping, I'm just sniping everything, holy. For the Ascendancy, I just decided to go Deadeye and Far Shot, you know, going with the sniping theme, I guess. Before jumping into the Act 2 boss fight, let's take a look at where I spent my time. I definitely had a worse time going into the start of Act 2, I guess after the trial, in combination with maybe some gear that I got. The second half was a little bit easier. Definitely did have a tough time with Act 2, and you're going to see how this boss fight goes, that Act 1 was super easy, Act 2 not so much. As always, if you're enjoying the videos, like, subscribe. I'm going to try to keep this going. We're doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday. However, right now, time to focus on the boss fight. The plan is to use Barrage Snipe, and hopefully just kind of have the exact same thing that happened with the Act 1 boss fight. However, you can clearly see we're doing way less damage than we were to Count Junor. And because apparently I don't know what I'm doing, I got hit by a double slam, I think. Super early on in the fight, 90%, I'm already thinking, holy shit, I might die here. But instead of focusing on that, let's actually focus on one skill that I forgot to talk about, Sniper's Mark. By the time you get to the Act 2 boss fight, you should be able to get this ability. It grants you extra critical damage bonus when you hit an enemy with a critical hit, as well as granting you a frenzy charge. When used in conjunction with the auto crit from Snipe, you can basically generate frenzy charges during boss fights, which is pretty unique. I got very low again, and what's likely happening right now is that my lightning resistance for this fight is way lower than it should be. If you're getting chunked like me, just boost your lightning res. When I'm stuck in this little area, Freezing Salvo is actually doing a great job, but now that I'm freed up, back to just spamming Snipe. The first part of this fight is really just trying to recognize what the lightning summons that he sends out, which move he's using basically. If you realize too late, you might get hit like me a bunch of times when you can just dodge it super easily. So hopefully in future videos, I'll work on having a better Act 2 boss fight. But as you can see, like, we're really not doing damage to him. So much of my damage requires me to stand still. I can't snipe and move. And because my character isn't really tanky right now, it makes it really tough for me to do damage to this boss. By the time I get a few hits in, we do get the stun off. I think I can phase him here. Sniper's Mark into Barrage Snipe. One thing I haven't talked about is my flash charges. So they're actually incredibly low. I'm out of mana. I've got a little bit of life. I think maybe when you phase here... Oh, and that just showed my lightning res. Let me pull back. I'm currently at 47% lightning res, which is higher than I actually thought I was. So what more likely is happening is just my other defenses are too low, my life is too low, etc. So you can see that we did get a few flash charges back. I think there are some summons in this phase to get potentially more flash charges. But it's at this point that I'm like clearly understanding that I could die in this fight. But fuck that, I'm not going to do that. In phase 1, a lot of the time I wasn't able to do damage because I was running. Now we also have to factor in the mana cost of things. I basically can't really use Sniper's Mark anymore. So the game plan is run, get to a spot where I can use Snipe. If Barrage is off cooldown, Barrage Snipe. Because the arena in phase 2 is actually bigger, it was super helpful for me. Because the abilities don't necessarily chase you around outside of the tornadoes, it's pretty easy to dodge them. I also am trying to stand as far away as possible to get the 20% more damage from our Ascendancy. The difficulty there is knowing when the boss is using certain abilities. Path of Exile as well as Path of Exile 2 use a lot of voice lines, so if you're new to the game and you want to get better at boss fights, listen to the boss, see what he says when he uses a certain ability, and just learn from there. After I've locked in, we've done a ton of damage. We are getting towards the end of this fight. Ran out of mana flash charges, but we still have a little bit of life, so I do have a little bit of leeway. But at the end of this fight, he starts summoning these giant like turbines that shoot out a shit ton of projectiles, and it cuts up the arena. Kind of looks like a jet turbine. That's the first one. Normally it comes out earlier. I don't know why it took him so long. I'm just sitting in a tornado because I suck. Use our final set of flash charges, and definitely the panic has kicked in. I hope that I can get a few more snipes off before he sets up the second turbine, but there's just so much happening. I'm just struggling to stay afloat, basically. Second Turbine puts me into a small little space with a tornado. You can easily dodge roll through the projectiles and not really take too much damage. The goal at this point being basically just don't get hit by a slam, and I think I might be fine. Set up Snipe, sit in the tornado, dodge this, dodge this, dodge this. We did it. One more. Is it gonna do it? And it's gonna do it. Jaman Ra. Fuck you, Jaman Ra, the Abomination. Act 2 boss fight. Definitely some of the most fun I've had doing a boss fight, although it was way harder than I would have liked it to be. I'm still having a lot of fun doing this series. Act 3 will be on Friday. I will see you then. Enjoy the video, and as always, catch you in the next one.